Hi, this is Tamara Donn from Transformation for Women, tamaradonn.com, and I am delighted to have Harriet with us today to talk about her experiences of how EFT and also family constellations have helped her in her life, in your life, and in your parenting. So hopefully you'll shed a little bit more light on that. So I'd like to start off with finding out how you first discovered EFT.
Well, I actually first encountered it. I'd had a miscarriage, and it had left me with flashbacks, basically. And I went to see a hypnotherapist who also did EFT. I didn't know about the EFT bit, and she said, "What you need is this thing, EFT." We did this weird thing, and I came away. I didn't really realise it at the time, but I came away with no flashbacks. It was really effective, but it was also quite weird. So I slightly wrote it off and assumed that I'd just recovered anyway. But then years later, when I'd had my kids, I was encountered you, Tamara, and began to do some EFT with you, and realised that actually what this woman had done years before was incredible, actually. And I've gone on to have many more adventures like that with you and with others, and sort of on my own, tapping at home. And yeah, this weird thing turns out to be pretty wonderful.
Thank you. And you took part in the Get My Sanity Back challenge recently.
I did.
So is there anything that you would like to share about your experience of that? I know you're an experienced EFTer, and it was already your habit, but if there's anything you can share about that, that'd be great.
Yeah, it was brilliant. It was really good, because I did the challenge last year, which was, I mean, I've been doing quite a lot of EFT anyway, but the last challenge got me doing it every day. And then it was good to revisit it and do it again, and do it with the others, and feel like you're part of it, a whole journey from, even if it's just those few days. I found it kind of reinvigorated me a bit more. So my doing it every day had, I think, become a little bit lazy and half-hearted at times. But when you know that other people are doing it with you, and I had a few friends that were doing it as well, so we were having little chats at the school gates about it. And it's great. It's just great to be reminded again and again and again about self-care. For me, that's what comes up a lot from the challenge, particularly.
Great. So you've been doing EFT for a few years now. What areas would you say have changed in your life as a result of doing EFT?
Gosh, I think my whole life has changed. What's changed? I think generally my default position had been to stress about anything that happened, stress about it until you work out whether it needs that kind of stress. And I think my default position now is probably tap on it and work out, go from there. And I think I'm just massively more optimistic. I sort of assume that a problem is completely solvable now, which I didn't before. I kind of would really overthink a problem, all the parenting things that come up, like whether it's potty training or weaning or this or that or the other, all of the all the books that tell you the how-tos, and it leave you with 15 different ways of doing it, and you don't know how to do it right. Like all of those kind of things have just turned into I'll just tap on it and I'm sure I'll end up doing the right thing. Just massively more relaxed about all manner of decisions and issues that arise, and yeah, I think that general layer of optimism, which I think probably wasn't, I've got so used to it, I kind of take it for granted now, but I think it probably really wasn't there before. I kind of assumed it was all, I was going to fail, I wasn't going to be good enough, it was going to be difficult, whatever it was. And I think now I sort of assume, well, I might mess up today, I might lose my temper, I might not be super mum today, but I can tap, I can, get centered again, and it'll all be all right somehow in the end. And I'm doing my best, which is really different and much more comfortable.
Great. From working with hundreds of mums, I would say that the key areas that they struggle with are overwhelm and stress and guilt and exhaustion. And I wondered if those things had affected you, or what your relationship with any of those things might be.
Yeah, I think all of those had, and all of them to a degree do. I think our culture is a bit overwhelming. I think the way we're sort of programmed to parent is a bit overwhelming. And I work as well as being at home with the kids, so life is quite difficult. But the big bit that's changed, and tapping has been a really amazing technique as part of this journey, has been self-care. So I'm much clearer on, I don't need to do that extra exhausting thing. I just need to, cancel a couple of commitments, stay at home, do a bit of nothing, do less. And that has really helped. But in order to achieve comfortably doing that, I've had to tap through a lot of, I should be doing this, I should be able to do all of that, I should be able to be super energetic and, keep all the plates spinning, and feel guilty if the kids aren't having a super amazing day every single day of their lives. It's kind of letting go of all of that has been difficult, but really worth it, and really worth it for the kids actually, as much as anything.
Have you got any particular stories in relationship to your parenting, or how it has helped your kids, that you might remember or be able to share right now?
My older boy, I have a boy and a girl. My boy's 7, my girl's 5. And it was her birthday recently. In fact, during the challenge, I think, maybe just before. And for him, it's obviously it's a celebration of birthday, but for him this year, I mean, it's always difficult, but this year kind of the words came that it's actually a sort of bereavement. For him, it's like the loss of that central position as the only child, and so it's often quite difficult. And this year I was able to, because I think that word came to me, and it was really useful to see him as a grieving child rather than a tantruming child. It was the same behavior, but when I saw it through a different lens, it was really different. And I was able to tap on myself and then do a bit of tapping with him, and we had this amazing chat about it, and able to honor that, wasn't it lovely before your sister came, and it was a special time, but isn't it now lovely? We got to a place where he was able to say about all the lovely things about now that she is with us, and with that bigger family. And that was completely amazing. And the direct result of it was that he was able to enjoy her birthday. We didn't have ranting and raving and tantruming. We had a really happy birthday celebration. So that's just one kind of, that was quite significant actually, but that on lots of levels, those kind of experiences have just become kind of routine since we got tapping.
That's incredible.
And the kids will ask, "Oh, can we have?" I'll say, "What do you need?" I try not to offer tapping, because we did have a window where they really hated tapping. I don't know, I'd done something wrong in my pushing of it, so now I don't offer it even. But I just, if they ask for it, well, I'll do it, and they will ask for it now quite often.
That's fantastic. I think that example that you shared just illustrates so much. First of all, you're tapping on yourself so that you weren't reacting to a situation of a tantrum, but actually responding from it from a place of compassion, and also your ability to reframe it from being an angry tantrum child to a grieving child, which you were able to recognize, and then to be in that place where you can actually support him through it and help him move through that to a new way of seeing the whole situation. So I think that's really powerful. Yeah.
It just for me, that it just feels like a real relationship then with the kids, rather than a busy concentrating on controlling their behavior or managing their behavior or improving their behavior. It tipped away from all of that into, let's have a real relationship as two human beings about what's going on for you, and how I can help or not, or how you can help yourself. And that's what I see with the kids actually, is they can help themselves with the tapping.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what kind of situations might they ask for tapping? Does anything come to mind for you?
If they have a bump, my boy will often ask for it at night time when he can't go to sleep. Or if they've had a bump, if they've had a fight, They, they won't. They will have, what I really want them to do is be able to like have a little group tapping when they've had a fight, but they won't. So that, at the moment, it's just like it has to be like tap. My daughter will sometimes tap with her dolls or just sort of mess around. Can we tap for more sunshine today, mummy? Or just kind of playful sweetness. Yeah, it's sort of. I mean, I'm making it sound like they do a lot of it. They don't, because they do have these moments of like, no, we don't really need tapping, it's rubbish. But when they do, we sort of make hay while the sun shines.
Wow, amazing. So, is there anything else that comes to mind that you'd like to share around your EFT journey or with family constellations as well that would help other mums hear that?
Well, I think the big bit in all of this for me has been prior to having kids. You know, life was quite straightforward. If an issue came up, I had time, the freedom to just go and deal with it, and so issues didn't press in the same way as under the pressure of having kids and work and a home and whatever. And also. It has really been my experience that having my kids has pushed out every skeleton from my own childhood cupboard. And then trying to parent whilst overwhelmed and tired with my own childhood baggage coming to the surface has been really problematic at times. And that's some of the constellation adventures we've had together have really been amazing. Bizarre at times, but really properly. I feel like the tapping combined with constellations has properly shifted stuff. That like over the years, I've done various therapies, talking therapies, CBT, whatever, which have had a place, but it's always felt that they've helped me manage my symptoms, as it were, or help me cope better with an issue, or modify behaviour a little bit, as long as I can remember to sustain it. But EFT has actually changed the sort of, you know, the very foundation of whatever that issue is in a way that nothing else ever has done. EFT and constellations have properly healed wounds that I never thought. You know, I always thought, well, I could probably have a better relationship with my mother because I'd probably be able to contain myself a bit better and not get quite so annoyed with her. But actually now that relationship is just a good relationship. It's actually transformed, which is, and that's through I always thought she has to do a lot of therapy if we're going to get, you know, have a better friendship with each other. But actually I don't think I'm not aware of her having done anything. We haven't had the big chat that I thought would be necessary. It's just got better. It's just got easier through me letting go of my stuff, through the EFT and constellation. So yeah, it's difficult. It's definitely been difficult. You know, there've been sessions where we've had to tap on my resistance to wanting to do it, but it's and you've been amazing at holding me to it, not without any pressure, but just you've seen that I really want to get the transformation, but it's my resistance at times has been really strong. But yeah. It's been good to be held to it and to do that work and come out the other side. I'm sure there'll be more rounds of that sort of deeper dive is necessary again. But
yeah, it's been an honour actually witnessing you go through that journey and just seeing where you are now. So yeah,
it's all down to you. You've done amazing things.
I think it's all down to you.
Teamwork.
And all down to EFT and family constellations.
Yeah.
So what would you say to mums who are thinking of trying EFT or doing EFT?
Oh, just do it. Just do it. Just do it. Even when it seems a bit weird, just do it. Yeah. And I can remember, it doesn't seem weird at all now, but I can remember it did seem quite strange at the beginning. And I did that for a long time. It was a very closet thing. I sort of didn't talk to many people about it. I've become a little bit braver recently in sort of talking about it with people, but just do it. Just give it a go and give it a go for a while. That's what's good about the challenge, I think, is that you give it a go for a sustained period. You can really see the changes. And I suppose the other bit is, in my tapping on my own or with you in various sessions, sometimes it has got very, painful is the wrong word, but it's become very intense. And actually I've had to trust that that's part of it, and that tapping through that is the right thing. And that the tapping isn't causing that intensity, the tapping is enabling that intensity to be released and transformed into something better.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great. Is there anything else that comes to mind that we haven't covered that you'd like to say?
Just a really big thank you. I know you're always very modest, but I do think you are particularly brilliant at this. I really do. I do. Whether you're just a particularly good fit for me, or but it's been really, really, really helpful having those one-to-one sessions. The stuff, the stuff that you've made available on YouTube and in the challenge, and the stuff that you can get for free is brilliant. And following the manuals and doing stuff at home, but having a few one-to-one sessions is properly brilliant.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. So if anyone watching is interested in finding out more about EFT, about coming on a challenge, do check out my website, tamaradonn.com, or email me, info@tamara.
I've got an interruption, sorry. I'm talking to the lady with the pink hair, but she hasn't got pink hair today. Sorry.